Good evening and welcome, viewers. I wish to speak to you tonight about a very serious matter, about what has emerged as the biggest fake news story in the world. The biggest fake news story ever globally. And I'm embarrassed to say that this fake news story has come from India. And it has come from what is described by many as a propaganda site called The Wire. What The Wire has done is a shame in the history of journalism. And as much as the Lutyens media and its ecosystem may try and cover it up and try not to talk about it, I think we must. Not because one propaganda site has published this fake news, but because of the fraud and fabrication that has accompanied this fake news. You can get a story wrong, yes you can. And then you can run a corrigendum, a clarification, but you cannot do some things. You cannot fabricate and then produce fabrications after fabrications after fabrications and insist that all these fabrications and falsehoods are the truth, which in this case the Wire has done. You cannot. If you have an ounce of ethics, have fake emails, fake screenshots, fake URL addresses, fake evidence all put out, and then play on the minds of Indians and tell Indians that they must pay money to support this fakery, which they were passing off as journalism. It is just abominable. Today you have global organizations that are rightly calling out The Wire and saying that this is a case of forgery and fabrication of the worst kind. Something you cannot imagine any news organization, even a propaganda site, doing. Viewers, there is a fabricated mail from Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook, a complete fabrication. 100% fabrication that has been put out. Can you believe it? And all done to claim that India's ruling party has some special access to harass you, to harass Indian citizens, to violate your rights, to violate your privacy, and manage the narrative. All lies, 1000% lies. And today we know this is 100% lie. And yes, we at Republic want a conversation on this. Why not? Why shouldn't we? Tell me, viewers, how many more lies must be published? How many more fabrications and falsehoods should be passed off as news before you say enough is enough? Based on this kind of fake news, our country has been vilified. Global media organizations have published commentaries, analysis of how India is a mess, about how our democracy is falling apart. Some say we're not even a democracy, how our democracy is under threat. Globally, these kind of lies, analysis has been put out. But now that the falsehood has been exposed, none of those global media organizations have the decency, the basic decency to say we were totally wrong. And in fact, we were instrumental in putting out a falsehood. Viewers of Republic, for years since we have launched, we have fought on this network against these forces who incite people, who mislead people, and who, I am ashamed to say, collect money by claiming to be victims. And those who, because their political masters are out of power today, will go to any extent to damage our country. And tonight I call upon you to reflect on this backsliding of ethics, to reflect on this total compromise of basic journalistic values, and ask yourself whether this fake news story, arguably the biggest in the world, is being hidden by those in the Lutyens media who think that the authors of this falsehood, the authors of this fabrication, the authors of this fake news must be protected and not exposed because they are one of them. This time it's cost This time it's crossed all limits, ladies and gentlemen.